Comedy Festival presents Animals. Here's your host, Sterling Scott.
Welcome tonight! Tonight's theme is animals, and appropriately, they got one hell of a sexy beast. Hey, my eyes are up here, all right? When I think about animals, I think about how humans domesticated them, right? I used to own pets. I had a dog, started out like a lot of you, then I got another dog, then 4 canaries, 2 lovebirds, cockatiel, a budgie, another canary, then an albino python, a chameleon, 2 piranhas, and an Asian water monitor, and then a gerbil, which then we fed to the Asian water monitor. And I can tell you right now, if you had a lot of pets, your house stinks. A lot of people right now are like, not my house, especially your house. In the summertime, it smelled like the Satan was cooking curry. It was bad in my house. I hated it. I don't ever want to own pets again. I know pet owners right now are like, what? I love my pets. Some pets I think are inhumane to own, right? Like my aunt owns a bird. You know what kind of sadist you have to be to own a bird? What does a bird do? It flies gracefully through the air, soaring in the skies. And you saw that and you were like, yeah, take it and put it in a cage where it can't spread its wings because mama likes to look at things in the afternoon. She puts it in a cage. And the bird is tropical. It's a tropical bird. It's a macaw from the Caribbean, right? It's used to forests and heat and rivers. And now it's in a 1-bedroom apartment in Alberta in November. And then it likes to sing. All birds, they like to sing. And you know what she does? You'll see bird owners do this. She just takes a blanket and throws it over the cage. I'm like, why do you do that for? She's like, it'll shut him up. He thinks it's nighttime. What? Now you got this poor bird in a cage? I said, well, at least open the cage. Let him fly around the house. She's like, he can't fly. I clipped his wings. What? Why did you clip his wings? She's like, so he can't get away. That's not love. At the most, you're reenacting a scene out of the book Misery. Like, that's what you're doing. And I know some of you guys are like, well, yeah, that's terrible, that's a bird. Well, I have dogs, I'm good, I'm a dog owner, my dog loves me. Let's take a look at that, all right? Dogs used to be wolves that used to roam, right? They used to take down elk and eat it and then howl at the moon. And then you took that and for 400 years you kept it in a 1-bedroom apartment. And now it's a cockapoo. And you think you're a good person for that? It can't go back out into the wild. You can't do that. Google cockapoo and Google wolf. Be proud of yourself. Because the wolves are going to laugh at him. They're going to look at him and be like, what the hell happened to you, bro? He'd be like, I don't know, man. This is weird. I don't know. I get the shivers now. I need a jacket. This is weird. I need a jacket. I have a hat. I have boots. They're like, why do you have boots? You're an animal. He's like, I don't know, man. But she really likes it for Christmas photos. Like, I don't know. Like, the wolf is like, I'm gonna eat you. It's not personal, bro. I'm gonna eat you just because this is terrible. You can't live like this. Some pets don't like their owners. You ever go to somebody's house and when they open the door, the dog runs out the house and tries to kill itself? We've all been to that house. Don't open the door, don't open the door. He's not an outdoor dog. No, that's a stupid thing to say. All dogs are outdoor dogs. Your house is a prison. That's a Shawshank dog. You guys are an amazing crowd. Are you ready to get this show started? Did you know that cats sleep up to 16 to 20 hours a day? Just like any good comic. Say hello to the very funny Matt Falk!
The best joke in the entire world is the owl joke. I didn't write it. Have you heard the owl joke? No? Oh, you're in for a treat. Check it out. So you go up to someone and you say, someone said you sound like an owl. And then they say, who? If you're not laughing at that, you are dead inside. You understand me? That is the funniest thing you're gonna hear from me today. And I'm an idiot. I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Like, I'm pretty sure I flapped a little bit. I was like, who? As soon as it happened, all this pride swelled up. I'm like, I gotta get somebody else with this joke. I'm like, my wife. So I assembled all the guys that did it to me, and I'm like, let's go get her. We're legally an angry mob at this point. We got pitchforks and torches. I went up to her, I did the thing. She asked me every question except for who. I have no idea how she did it. I was so excited. I was like, sweetheart, someone said you sound like an owl. She's like, what? No, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Someone said you sound like an owl. She's like, when? Like a minute ago, it doesn't matter. Listen. Someone said that you sound like an owl. She's like, what's their name? That is a good question. Could you rephrase it? She's like, the person that said that to you, what is that person's name? I lost it. I was like, you're supposed to say who? Who? She's like, now who sounds like an owl? I'm like, come on! The worst part is I love owls. I love all birds. I'm a birder. I'm really into birding. Maybe you're not bird people. Maybe you're horse people, huh? Yeah. Well, I was thrown from a horse, okay? So forgive me for not sharing your enthusiasm. So I was cast in a Western-themed TV show pilot. Now, the producers wanted me to ride in on a miniature horse because they figure full-grown man and a mini horse, that's comedy gold. Now, I've ridden a few times, but I'm not what you would call good at it. But that does not stop my brain from thinking that I am good at it. Plus, I'm a prairie kid I wanted to represent, so I'm like, yeah, I know how to ride. Yippee-ki-yay, let's do this. So they bring out this horse, and I get on. And the producer's like, all right, make the horse go. So I'm like, horse, activate. The producer thinks I'm joking. He's like, hey, mwah. And I'm like, hey, mwah. And apparently, that's the sound that you need to make. So we're trotting, and I think the horse is just excited to be on a TV show because it right away goes into like a full gallop, okay? Now my brain's still very confident that it knows what it's doing. My body's starting to freak out a little bit. So I got the arms going, I got the face going, I got the theme song to the Lone Ranger rushing through my mind. About halfway through the theme song, for a reason I still don't understand, the saddle started to shift to one side. So now I'm hanging off the side of a galloping miniature horse. Looks like I'm doing a move from Cirque du Soleil. People watching going, man, those prairie kids really do know how to ride. Now, don't let it fool you. Just because the horse is miniature, those hooves can still kill a man. Plus, the shorter the horse, the closer your face is to said hooves. So my brain noticed that I was like a foot away, and it like kicked into action. Came back to reality. I was like, all right, I admit we got a problem. We should do something. I'm like, that's good, brain. What should we do? My brain's like, we should bail. I'm like, but then we would get trampled. And my brain's like, well, maybe just your legs would get trampled. I'm like, you gotta think for the whole body, brain. So I had a better plan. I was going to pull myself up using my calf muscles. As it turns out, I do not have calf muscles. I have calves covered in fat. And when you attempt to pull yourself up using your calf fat, you tickle the horse. Now, when a horse is tickled, it does not go, whoops, I peed. No, it does this. With its 350-pound rear end, and you go flying about 6.5 feet through midair. You ever watch the Olympics? You wonder how the skiers twist in the air? I know now. I twisted, I landed on my back, and my back made this sound. Yeah. And then my wife ran up to me. She was terrified. She's already afraid of horses. Doesn't trust the way they sleep standing up, thinks it's creepy. I agree. I didn't want to scar her for life, so I figured, well, I should just laugh this off. But when you've been thrown from a horse, all the air in your body leaves your body. And as we know, a laugh is about 80% air. So the laugh didn't sound as reassuring as I wanted it to sound. I was going for kind of like a, boy, horse me, bound to happen. Don't be afraid. Didn't sound like that. I sounded like Gandalf yelling at a hobbit. I was like, horse me, afraid. Not very comforting. Thank you very much. My name is Matt Falk. I love you, and goodbye.
The following program contains mature subject matter and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
True, the early bird gets the worm, but no one talks about how for an hour or two it waits outside for the worm store to open. Please welcome the very prompt Larke Miller!
So I got a part in a movie. Thank you. I'm really excited about it. I'm working with an actress. You guys probably know her. She's pretty famous. Her name is Crystal the Monkey. She was the monkey in The Hangover 2, the chain-smoking, drug-dealing monkey. I feel a kinship with her because when she started her career, she was typecast right away. She just played the stereotypical monkey roles like monkey in the jungle or monkey in the laboratory. Then she got that part in The Hangover 2 where she was playing that gritty, chain-smoking drug dealer. The film that we're in, she's flying an airplane. For a little while, she had a sitcom on NBC where she played a doctor. And it's pretty amazing, but there's one thing that bothers me about this whole thing is every movie they put her in, they always have her play a male monkey. Because somehow it's just too unbelievable that a female monkey be able to fly an airplane. Like, it's gonna be another 50 years before a female monkey is seeing patients. It's not just Crystal, it's every monkey you see in film and television. They're all female monkeys. I found out that is because male monkeys are too sexually aggressive to be actors. Yeah, too sexually aggressive to be actors, so they have to stick to directing and producing. So they say that the lion is the king of the jungle. I like to believe it's the elephant. They're my favorite. Unfortunately, their population is dwindling. They have a matriarchal society, which means that the male elephants are loners, and the females travel in packs of other women, up to 50 other female elephants. Which you're never gonna get a guy to approach you if you're traveling with 50 other women. And those women include your mother, your grandmother, your aunts, and your sisters. So they said they're gonna start artificially inseminating the elephants, which I don't think is such a good idea. Like, we've seen how dependent ducks have become on humans, and all we do for them is give them stale bread. Like, what is gonna happen when we start giving elephants happy endings? I'm a cat person. When I see a woman with a whole bunch of children, like, I don't have this urge to have some of my own. But, like, when I see a cat with a litter of kittens, I'm like, I could do that. I just need 6 more nipples. I tried to adopt a cat. I went to a cat adoption agency. It's become so much more complicated to adopt a cat. I had to fill out a ton of forms, and then they called me in for a sit-down interview with a cat adoption agent. Her first question to me was, "Why have you chosen to adopt a cat?" I was like, "Because I'm unable to conceive one biologically." They denied me the cat. I do have an aquarium. I recently lost one of my fish. I don't know where he went. I've been looking for him everywhere. I've got the posters up all over the place. I've got them up all over the castle and the treasure chest and that seashell that opens and closes. I was watching this documentary on evolution, and they say that the honeybees have been evolving for over 100 million years. The worker bees, who are all female, have evolved to have little pockets on their back legs, which they hold the pollen that they take back to the hive. The male honeybees only have one job, and that is to mate with the queen bee once, and then their penis falls off and they die. Which I don't really feel is the greatest case for evolution. They probably get way too excited around the queen bee. I know she smells like honey, but pretend she's a wasp. A friend told me that he has a fantasy about me and him, that we're the last 2 people left on Earth, because that way I would have to have sex with him. I was thinking, if there's been an apocalypse, which could happen, and we're like the last 2 beings left on Earth, I don't have to sleep with him. I'm gonna have to eat him. Thank you, I'm Larke Miller.
The following program contains mature subject matter and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
This comic says he can't swing a dead cat at work without getting an animal rights complaint. Please welcome Ted Morris!
Hello! Hello, sexy people of Winnipeg. Yeah, nice. Hello, everyone else. This is a big year for me. I quit my day job at the beginning of the year to do stand-up full-time. I used to be a small animal vet. I just like murdered cats for a living. That is essentially what that job is. It's just a lot of cat murder, which is a large part of the reason why I quit. And friends of mine are like, "Oh, well, you must get used to it." What? No, I'm not a psychopath. No, you never get used to it. It's sad every time. It's sad. Well, maybe not the first time. The first time you're like, "Woo, what a rush!" But every time after that, it's just sad. Oh, it was rough. I just got tired of smelling like disinfectant and cat pee. Because that is part of the job. Because here's how it would play out. I would murder your cat. I would do a beautiful job. People loved it. They requested me. It was a wonderful moment. And then I would wrap your deceased cat up in a towel and just sort of stand there holding them, essentially trying to get out of the room. Like, I'm trying to give people what they need and be empathetic and, make sure that this is as positive of an experience as it can be for them. But the whole time I'm like, I'm really busy. I got a day full of appointments. I got stuff to do. I got another cat to murder in the room next door. Like, I have places to go. So as I'm standing there, trying to be a nice, compassionate human being, your dead cat just slowly pees dead cat pee all over me. Every single time. Because I don't know if you know this, the only thing that holds your pee in is your soul. Yeah, once it's gone, everything just goes flying. I also started playing games. I would play like little games to pass the time. One of my favorites was, let's see how many times I can use the word bitch before it gets really awkward in here. Let's see. It's like the one place you're allowed to use it. Lady dog is a bitch. Lady cat is a queen. So I'll be like, how's your bitch doing? Let's get your bitch up here. Oh, your bitch looks sick. What has your bitch been eating? Has your bitch lost weight? Just see how many times I could squeeze it in. It's a fun little game. This is the one good thing. This is the nice thing about kind of getting out of the biz. I can finally answer the question that I could never answer it for like political correctness issues. For some reason, my clients love to ask me like, what do you like better, cats or dogs? What do you like? And I always have to be like, oh no, you love them both. They're all great. They're amazing. Who doesn't love them? That's a lie. That is 100% a lie. The answer is dogs. It is dogs. Cats never stood a chance. Sorry, cats. Sorry, sad cat people covered in cat hair and loneliness. But your cats are second rate. Did you know that dogs have such a good sense of smell that some of them can detect cancer in people? Like, isn't that amazing? Like, it was like some dog one day was just like nosing his owner's breast, and she's like, what are you doing? He's like, what's up with that? What's up with that? And like she went to the doctor and they're like, oh, you've got breast cancer. She's like, the dog is amazing. They're not that good at picking out testicular cancer because they are always up there. So don't trust that at all. But did you know that cats have a better sense of smell than dogs do? Which means that cats can totally detect your cancer. They just can't be bothered to tell you about it. They don't care. They don't care. They're like, well, if she dies, I'll just eat her face. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Stupid cats. So it should come as no surprise to you that I don't have a cat. I have a dog. And then in a wonderful moment of irony, I got a dog who acts like a cat. I got a rescue dog. Has anyone got a rescue dog? No, I reject it. I reject this rescue dog. I adopted this adult, and she does not like me. She does not care for me one little bit. I've had her for a couple of months, and she just lies in her bed. I essentially have a new roommate whose crap I literally have to pick up. It's garbage. And I tried to figure out why, what's the problem? Why can't we connect? And I think I figured it out. She's from Mexico, right? So there's a language barrier. And I don't speak Spanish, so I'm like, well, I could learn Spanish maybe, see if I can connect with this dog. But I'm like, that sounds like an awful lot of work to connect with this dog. So instead, I just taught her new commands, so that no one else can operate her. Has anyone done this? Instead of asking her if she wants to go for a walk, we ask her if she wants to go fight crime. Right, you want to go fight crime? She's like, yeah, I want to fight crime. It's so good. It's hilarious. Squirrels and cats are Nazis. She hates Nazis. She's a good little girl. She hates them. And instead of teaching her the command, come here, we settled on, who's your daddy? Right? These are adorable things. These are adorable, adorable things. Until she got away from us in the park for the first time. And then we just looked psychotic. We're just like, Lupe, stop chasing those Nazis. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Thank you very much, Winnipeg. I'm Ted Morris. Good night.
The following program contains mature subject matter and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Please welcome the cat's meow. It's Leonard Chan.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I always wanted a cat. All right, but my parents, not so much. But they believe in giving kids choices, so they said I could have as many cats as I want, but for every cat I bring into the house, they would get rid of one kid. I'm an only child. So it's a tough choice. I never got that cat, but I'm an adult now. I can have as many cats as I want, so I have 13 cats. Yeah, it's not a joke, it's a cry for help. Yeah, I'm serious, I have 13 cats. Yeah, this is usually the part where people stop laughing. Yeah. Look, it's not because I'm crazy. It's because my wife is crazy. I married a crazy cat lady, which is a very gender-specific term, right? Cat lady. There's no cat man, right? Cat man sounds like a dude who's really into smooth jazz. Well, yeah, 13 cats. Just living the dream. But I always wanted a cat. I never wanted a dog, you know, because cats are better than dogs. Cat people, very smart. Dog people, woof. The reason we have so many cats is that my wife she rescues them. That's her thing, all right? She traps them, she neuters them. I was the first. This is the only reason I think it'd be a good idea to get a dog, all right? Because dogs are really good at retrieving balls. But no, I love cats. I think cats are great. I love cats because they're so chill, all right? Humans are not chill, like, at all. There's just so much xenophobia going on right now, you know? Like, people are screaming like, oh, these immigrants are stealing our jobs, which, okay, first of all, if an immigrant crawls across the desert, climbs over a wall, hikes to the middle of America, and the first thing they do is steal your job, you suck at your job, okay? But, there's just so much xenophobia, and I think the antidote to that is traveling, you know? Like, go see other cultures, have other cultures see you. I like to travel because I like to expose myself to other people. Okay, that's a terrible soundbite. But you get the picture, right? Like, my wife and I, we recently went to Peru, and we came back with another cat. We always bring something back with us. Came back with another cat. And so we were in this park in Lima, and this cat jumped into my lap. My wife was like, oh my God, we gotta rescue this cat. I was like, we're on vacation. We don't have to collect them all. They're not Pokemon. And my wife was like, no, this cat jumped in your lap. It chose you. It's destiny. I was like, no. This cat chose me the same way strippers choose me. That was also destiny. So I tell my parents we're going to adopt this cat, and they are furious, all right? Because, like, to them, every time we get another cat, it's like a lower percentage chance they're going to get grandkids, right? And they want grandkids bad. I was like, why do you guys want grandkids that bad? I think if I don't have kids, the Chan name will die out. I think we'll be fine. My dad was like, no, like, how can you let your wife do this? You have to put your foot down. I was like, let her? She's a white woman. She does what she wants. If I put my foot down, I'm gonna lose my foot. They're so mad. So my parents don't want us to rescue this cat. My wife wants us to rescue this cat. I only see one of these two parties naked again, so we're rescuing a cat, okay? It's basically a tit for cat kind of situation. But we named him Churro, by the way, which is a lovely name. It's Peruvian slang for handsome boy, which he is. We brought him back to Canada, and here's the crazy twist to this story. My parents adopted the cat. I know, I couldn't figure it out. Like, the best I can figure is that they've given up on the idea of having grandkids, and they're willing to settle for a grand cat. Like, that's... And now Churro lives with them. He sleeps on their couch 18 hours a day. He has no job. He eats, poops, sleeps. That's all he does. Classic underachiever. And my parents love him. And I was like, where the hell was this lax attitude towards work ethic when I was a kid? Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm an only child. For the first time in my life, I am experiencing sibling rivalry with a cat and I am losing. My mom compares me to Churro all the time. She's like, oh my God, Churro's just like you when you were a kid, except Churro's better. Churro actually listens to us. I'm like, what? It's like, Churro doesn't understand a word you're saying. He doesn't speak Mandarin, he's a cat. My mom's like, well, you don't speak Mandarin and you're Chinese. I'm like, ah! I was like, well, look, Churro is never gonna get into med school, all right? He doesn't have the grades, right? Churro's never gonna become a doctor. And my mom looks me right in the eye and she's like, well, at least he's never gonna become a comedian. Yeah, so now Churro's in the whale, I'm out, my parents have a new son, and I'm like, these immigrants keep stealing our jobs. All right, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you guys so much.
Animals in the country are way different than animals in the city. Animals in the country are out playing in the fields, running free. Animals in the city are like, I seen some stuff. I did my dime in the pound. Here to share her tales of animals in the city is the very funny Amy Bugg!
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, so like a lot of you guys, I recently spent a lot of alone time with myself. Yeah. And here's the thing about that. I was weird before. Yeah, now I'm just really, really weird. Yeah, use a lot of that extra time to write an entire list of animals who have crossed me. Yeah, so we're just gonna roll right through all those guys. Okay, number 1, bats. You know? Specifically the bat that harassed me in the workplace. Okay, it flew in and to my office and landed directly onto my back. I was like, whoa, am I just the queen of darkness now? And it was during the middle of the day too, so that's how I know he was super into me. Right? He was willing to mix up his schedule. Okay, number 2, skunks. Yeah, you guys know skunks, right? The original squirters. Okay, I don't like skunks because they live in my backyard and one of them sprayed my dog. So I had to bathe him in tomato juice, which, by the way, totally useless. Okay? That was just invented by Big Tomato. Okay, I spent $50 and all my dog does is smell like ketchup made out of my cousin's weed. All right? But like, I'm a vengeful person. I'm gonna get that skunk back. Yeah, so I filled my super soaker up with old milk, and now I just sit on my porch just waiting to squirt him back. And I'm gonna shoot him right between the legs too, so he knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. All right, up next on my list, also lives in my backyard, possums. You guys know possums, right? They look like rats if they were a ghost. Okay, the only thing I even respect about possums is that they play dead. Because that's a strategy like I can really get behind. Next time I'm at a party and someone tries to talk to me about the economy, yeah, I'm just lying face down on the floor. I don't want to hear it. All right, you know what else that bothers me? You know what animal? Wombats. Yeah, because yuck, Australians. Okay, the reason I don't like wombats is because the way they poo is very unsettling. Do you guys know this? Wombats poo cubes. Yeah, true. They poo little cube shapes. Like right now, they're out there in the outback just being like, oh, cup of tea for the lady. Can you imagine like just taking a poopy and then turning around and then realizing you built a wall? You could box yourself in. Okay, the final animal on my list, dogs named Zeus. Yeah, because statistically they pee on me. Yeah, this particular dog made some assumptions about my stoic nature and rectangular body shape and mistook me for a tree. Yeah, and it must have been a tree on fire because it was a lot of piss. But don't worry, I'm gonna get him back, just like I'm gonna get that skunk back. This time I'm gonna take my super soaker and fill it up with not milk, my own piss. Yeah, and then turn that dog into a golden retriever. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you.
The following program contains mature subject matter and coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
When this comic does his dog material, he gets many positive yelps on his views. It's Charlie Demers!
Hello! Hello! Thank you. Thank you. This is a job where we travel a lot, and I like to bring my family with me when we can do it, but it's not always a great idea. Last year, in the wintertime, I was traveling with my family. We were in rural British Columbia, and it was dark, and it was rainy, and there were no street lights, and what I'm trying to set up here is that I'm not proud of this, but I hit a raccoon. Yeah. In my defense, he was staring at my wife's breasts. See, even that is like a nervous joke because I feel still so guilty about this. It's just like this. It's a horrible experience, right? We're driving down the road. In the last seconds, you see this raccoon in the headlights, and then you go over it, and we're just sitting, the whole family, my daughter, my wife, and I, in this kind of guilty, nauseous silence. And then finally, my daughter, who was 5 years old at the time, leans forward in her booster seat and says, hope I don't remember this my whole life. Okay, good. So you're still kind of with me. I feel like raccoon is oddly like just the right level of animal where I can tell that sad story in a comedy context and you'll still be on my side. Can you imagine like if it were a dog, that wouldn't work, right? I'd have to change it to raccoon. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what happened. Relax, relax, relax. It was a child. But we do, as human beings, we have these hierarchies. We have of animals that we love, we have animals that we hate, we have animals we have just complete indifference towards, and it's completely arbitrary, right? Like we love dogs. We love dogs out of all proportion to any rational. We love dogs so much that we bring them into our homes and give them names in our languages, right? So many of us will give our dogs Christmas gifts. We'll get, this is for the Messiah was born today. This is for God's incarnate love came into the world. That's how much we love dogs. And we hate coyotes. And a coyote is literally just a dog who lives outside. Can you imagine what a mind-bending species we must be to coyotes? Can you imagine being a coyote trying to figure us out? You come loping out of the bushes at a park, you see us with your cousins, showering them with praise, playing with them, throwing toys, and then we see you. You get the hell back in that goddamn ravine! But I understand it. I understand the love we have for dogs. Last year, my family, we got a puppy. And I just instantly fell in love. It's the greatest thing in the world to have a puppy, although I wish someone had told me it is so much harder than I thought it would be to masturbate. Sir, I will explain. In front of your family, I will explain. The thing about a puppy is a puppy has no chill. A puppy wants to be with you 100% of the time, right? So if you have the need for any alone, grown-up, sophisticated European-style adventures, you have no good options, right? You can go into the room by yourself and close the door, which doesn't work. Because then the dog just starts pawing at the door, going, which I'm sorry, if you're able to maintain arousal through that sound, you should have been hanged at Nuremberg. But the alternative is no better. You open the door and let the puppy come in, just this embodiment of pure, guileless innocence. Hey! Chewing on a piece of rawhide while you're trying to expand the Pornhub window on your phone. It's looking up at you with literal puppy dog eyes. Going, hey, who's she? What are they doing? Hey, that's like my leash. Dogs are supposed to be good for kids, but they don't always mix well. It was one day last summer when I was solo parenting, and I thought, this is great. I'll go to the park. There's a playground to the park. I'll go. My kid can play on the playground. We'll take the dog for a walk. It'll be a perfect afternoon. But when we got to the park, there's a sign at the playground that says dogs are not permitted within 15 meters of the playground. I thought, great. Either I can cancel the playground, have a huge temper tantrum on my hands, or I can be a deadbeat dad, go stand 45 feet away while my kid plays alone on the playground. So that's what I chose to do. My kid goes to play, I go lean up on a tree while she's playing. And then I saw a friend of mine I went to school with, haven't seen in years. He shows up with his toddler, and they're playing on the equipment. I call out, I was like, hey, it's me, Charlie, hey. And I felt so rude because I couldn't go over. So I yelled, possibly what I realized is the worst thing you could yell next to a playground, which is, I'd come say hi, but I'm not allowed within 15 meters. Thank you very much, Winnipeg. You guys have been wonderful. Good night.
Well, thank you all for coming to our animal show. As a special treat to yourself, on the way home, may I suggest driving with your head out the window and your mouth wide open. I've been Sterling Scott.